Weird. Okay, well it says I'm live and I'm not on my channel and I'm not on Lotro Stream. So where am I streaming to? Huh. Oh, I am live. There's just a problem with my own playback. Well, there you go. Hi everybody, it's Big Ed Mustafa. Welcome to Adventures After Dark. I'm excited to be here. It is time for some Lotro. And yeah, also a 4-day holiday weekend for yours truly. So for those of you who celebrate Hanukkah, I hope you had a terrific Festival of Lights. For those of you who are going to be celebrating Christmas, be sure to enjoy that. And for those of you who celebrate Kwanzaa, that starts on Tuesday and runs through New Year's. So I hope everybody gets to relax and enjoy some time with family and hopefully get to play some video games. Nothing wrong with that. We will get things kicked off with Dardanissa. Everybody else in my Wednesday night group has been working away, leveling up, and I was quite a few levels behind everybody else. So I had the night off from streaming last night, so I hopped on Lotro and put a couple of levels on Dardanissa, worked my way through some of the Mines of Moria landscape quests. I like Moria. It's compact, and you can cover a lot of ground quickly if you know where you're going. First time, maybe the second time through Moria, it's not going to go quickly, but after you go through it a third time, it's going to become pretty routine for you. And there's a lot of interesting quests and lots of things to see and do. I think I had worked my way through most of the upper areas. And I just took some quests here. This is about where I started nodding off last night, so I will pick up where I left off. There's an ancient shield back here I'm supposed to collect somewhere. No? Oh, there it is. Ran right past it. Gipio checking in. Hi, Gipio. Gipio hung out with me for a while last night. Always good to have company, even when you're not streaming. And for some reason, Antler checking in. Hi, Antler. Whatever problem I was having with the wee baby Seamus, that seems to have cleared up. Got a few rounds in. Also played some shooty boats again tonight. I got another day of free premium. And then, yeah, apparently we have another clan battle going on. So I saw Gipio played a couple rounds. Gore played a couple rounds.
These halls will be great once
more. Alright, map the winding way. Defeat goblins in Durin's Way. Goblin guards. Defeat the captain. After the fire. I know where this is. Let's go fight the captain. Which kind of begs the question, if Antler's not already talking to me, am I not in my own voice chat? Yeah, I'm in voice chat. Okay. That is all right. Well, this isn't going to take me anywhere. Went and did some grocery shopping after I left work today. I had the day off, but I had to go into work because I got a message there was a problem with my brokerage account. And just turned out that I showed up on the change of address list at the post office, and they flagged it. So I had to call in and verify my info, which was annoying, and I had to go into work to find the number to call. Mrs. M wants me to make braised oxtails for Christmas. And the hardest part of that is going to be finding oxtails. Went to 3 stores today and nobody had them, so I'll probably have to go out tomorrow and find some. Do I have enough bag space? I do. Find parchment. Can I burgle? I successfully burgled a gleaming staff. Might explain why that goblin is smiling. Forbin Kid checking in. Hello, Forbin Kid. Captain Gomig did not make it. He sleeps with the fishes. I thought I was supposed to kill guards too. What doesn't really say it's ready to turn in? Defeat goblins at this other place. Oh, that must be ready to turn in. What am I supposed to collect? Dwarf what? Defeat goblins where? Okay. Emissaries of the White Hand. Find the Bat Cave. Oh, collect dwarf letters. The letters are on dead dwarves that the Maraville are chewing on. Man, you should have heard the laundry list of stuff Mrs. M wanted me to pick up at the store, too. I want pudding. I want jello. Get chips and salsa. She wants Keem. Went to 3 different markets today.
The day of the dwarves is coming.
Might, agility, vitality. 8. 8. I'll get the bow because then I'll at least know I don't need to keep the bow. There might be some orcs down here that I need to kill. Singer says, so bring her some figgy pudding. I got her tapioca instead. She seemed quite happy with that, though, so. I made her chicken ramen with green onion and egg for dinner. And I gave her a bonus soft-boiled egg. I made two because I have a bad habit of wrecking them. And one of them I peeled almost perfectly, and she didn't eat it. I ended up finishing her ramen and eating the second soft-boiled egg. I think the key to them is you have to let them soak in ice water for a fairly long time. I worry that the yolk is going to harden up if I let them sit for too long, but I don't think I need to worry about it. We're going to ruin this White Hand Emissary's Christmas. I actually saw a video for figgy pudding. There is a TikToker who throws some videos up on YouTube Shorts. His name escapes me at the moment, but he wrote a book called Baking Yesteryear. He's got like all of these recipes from like old magazines and old cookbooks going like back 100 years. And I did buy some stuff to make a dessert that he said actually turned out delicious and looks like it's like crazy easy to make. You just take sweetened condensed milk, frozen lemonade concentrate, and Cool Whip. Blend it together and pour the resulting mixture into a couple of graham cracker pie crusts. Stick it in the freezer and give it a couple hours to set up, and boom, instant lemon pie. And it's like, I could make that. And normally I don't do a lot of dessert stuff, you know, on account of Mrs. M is a very badly behaved dialysis patient who doesn't eat what she's supposed to. Did I get a letter off of that Moraville? I thought you were supposed to collect them from the dwarves. Oh, I did get one. I didn't remember that popping up. Let's keep killing the Maraville and see where we get here. Maybe it's because I was so concerned about burgling the Maraville I didn't notice it. Why? Oh, there we go. It's like, why is it not letting me pick his pocket? Maybe they're not burglable. Dylan Hollis, he's pretty funny. Yeah, and some of his recipes are kind of cool. So, yeah, I'm going to make a Dylan Hollis dessert. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I'm going to take Mrs. M to dialysis, and we'll try that lemon pie. And if it's nasty, I'll have made two of them, so I can just give one to my sister. Like, here, I made this for you. You know, because I'm a good brother. Actually, I've been hooking her up with some pretty good food. What else have I taken her? I've taken her adobo pork. I've taken her adobo chicken. And if I don't find any oxtails, we may end up having adobo pork for Christmas. I think they're considered ancient evil, so you can't burgle them. Okay, that makes sense. They look pretty humanoid to me. But what do I know? I'm kind of new to the game. My cookies won best tasting at our work cookie exchange. Gingerbread cookies that I found the recipe in our church cookbook. Man, those old church cookbooks, those are a treasure trove. And another thing Mrs. M's talked about fondly is this German onion pie that she had, oddly enough, when she was in Germany. And I found a bunch of recipes for it. I just haven't tried making it yet. Like the first ingredient is like 6 pounds of red onion. It's like, yeah, I could try making that. It's a lot of onions to peel and chop, though. Gantaran checking in. Hello, Gantaran. Gantaran is streaming and streaming Lotro, so if you're not already following Gantaran, fix that mistake immediately. And yeah, Gantaran's good people. Let's see if we can get him to partner and you know, donate until we get him in up a couple tax brackets. Even if he does request dance parties way too often. I really got to automate that on my channel. Man Bear J came by the other night and requested a dance party. He was even happy with the music I picked for his dance party, so that was nice. Yeah, I've defeated goblins. There's my fourth dwarf letter. Now, somewhere in here there is a white hand emissary. I'm gonna find him and I'm gonna make him pay. There he is. Literally gonna make him pay by burgling him. Not sure if it's just me, but you sound a bit quiet, Ed. Alright, I'm wondering if I'm on the wrong microphone, maybe. And again, with Windows, it does weird stuff to the audio. The level doesn't look bad. It does look a little weak. Check, 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 check. Let's go to Windows Sound Settings. Device Properties Microphone. I can boost it a little. That's where I normally keep it, though. Check, 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 check. La 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 la. Sounds pretty good here. Look at that silly Hobbit streamer snipe. If it's too loud, we're not going to get lulled to sleep. That's an excellent point. In fact, I suspect several of you may have already dozed off. But yeah, check out Dylan Hollis if you get the chance. There's Forbin Kid. Hey, buddy. And, yeah. YouTube is like the new joy of cooking. Watching on the work PC, which has shoddy speakers too, so it could just be me. Where am I going? Ninnath Faltor. Okay, sure. You say so. Oh, I think I know where this dude is. You come in here with one of the dwarves, and he backs out of here saying, oh, they're too strong. But the emissary's back over here the other direction. Michael Corleone sends his regards. You know what's funny about that is I never really have seen what's back here. That dwarf's always like, oh, I don't want to go any further. And I'm always like, okay, I don't want to go any further either. So you always back out of here. But this actually is a good place to fish because of this. I didn't mean to walk off into the water, but it happened, so. Now let's see if I can figure out how to get back up out of the water. What is it? Control F10. Rockhead says, I want to visit the New Zealand airport with all the cool Lord of the Rings art. Alt F10. Yes, thank you, Antler. Yeah, I might be screwed. I don't really see a way up over here. Oh, there it is. Here's a ramp. Fortunately, I'm a very stealthy swimmer. Be very quiet. Okay, so all the White Hand emissaries have been taken out. I think this is the direction I don't remember ever having gone before. What do we have over here? A lot of water. Harassing dark claws. Oh, this just kind of dead ends into nothing. Alright. Thought this might lead somewhere, or there might be something to see, but I guess not. It was completely dead ends. Who knew? They should put something interesting back here. I've never been back to this part of this area before. Now I know why. There's nothing back here to see. But I gotta be me. And hopefully I don't catch the watcher. That would take a while to reel in. Ooh, a rusty axe. Now technically my fishing skill is too low for this area. I'm at fishing level 100, but you really should be 150 or higher to be fishing in here. Now I'm at 101. And I caught a second rusty axe. Now there are fish in here, I'm just not catching any. £15 salmon's a good catch. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And a pike. Walleye are a species of pike and they're delicious. Northern pike, people don't eat those quite as much. Muskellunge or muskie or pike. Ooh, a flounder. There should be a market again for fish, and some bar recipes need them. An Umbar Guild advancement needs a lot. Always good to know. 3 spines, tickleback. What I need is a burglar trait that lets me make my goat invisible too. So I can ride past all these fools instead of having to jog out. I gotta sleep in a little bit. I woke up around 8 a.m. There was no rest for the wicked though. Mrs. M put me right to work waiting on her hand and foot. I wonder if that lantern makes me easier to spot. I hadn't been getting detected by anybody, and then all of a sudden those goblins spotted me. Goblins and bats. Epic Games TV checking in. Merry ho ho. I think what I might do is come spring, I'm going to shave the beard off, but I'll try to grow my ears long before Easter. Be pretty awesome if I did, though. Oh, he's a special named work rider. Die, villainous scum. Okay. Oh, more villainous scum. Okay, we took care of that. Is it Knack? What's this dude's name? Crumb. I need more caffeine immediately. So I stayed home today and made Mrs. M breakfast and hot tea and got her meds and I think this dead ends if I recall correctly. Yep. Coke Zero Sugar sounds good about now. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. We'll see if I can manage to put a couple more levels on tonight. Max morale and power. Questing Dad checking in. Hello, the Questing Dad. Another fine Lotro streamer, and shame on you if you're not following him. Subscribe, donate, try to put the Questing Dad into a higher tax bracket also. He is good people.
The shadow of Mordor will not long fill the halls of Khazad-dûm.
Ring of Revenge.
These halls will be great once more.
Thought I had 3 to turn in. Find the Bat Cave. Okay, I think I know. That's the garden. I'm fishing in Staddle. Don't scare my fish. Exactly. Backlagor checking in. Hello, Backlagor. Good to see you, my friend. Backlagor is a longtime recovering former Lotro Stream team member. Plays and streams DDO. Still play some Lotra once in a while, if I'm not mistaken. Forbin Kid just left the Batcave. Was Robin still crying in the Batcave and just sobbing and saying that he only wanted a hug? Don't laugh at that, anybody. That's a terrible joke. On 3 or 4 servers on Lotro, something like that. I always consider it a high compliment when other streamers come by and hang out and say hello. Appreciate you guys being here. Hope everything is going well for you and yours. Well, Forbin Kid, I've got a lot of crafting I need to do, so. This is such a pretty part of Moria. The quests are kind of annoying, but it's pretty. It's a whole underground garden. Okay, I got my superb smelt. I can stop fishing. Never stop fishing. Never, ever, ever. All right. Little chair stream hype. I got to go get a fresh beverage. I think that's the last of the Diet Dr. Pepper. One of the things I did pick up at the store today. Hi, Bria. How are you? I'll be right back. I got 2 more 6-packs of Coke Zero. Because you don't want to run out. And I'm back. So remember, if you just leave cookies and milk out, Santa may or may not appreciate it. Leave Santa a crisp, delicious, and refreshing Coke Zero, and he's sure to reward you. Listen to how good that sounds. Plus, it's got the life-giving caffeine that keeps me awake enough to play video games. Even after a tortuous day of waiting on Mrs. M, hand over fist. Oh! Completed Kindred with the Iron Garrison Guards. Nice. Harvest naturally growing crystals. Gather roots. Find and talk to the other dude who's like somewhere nearby. Mr. Christoph, Hanover Fist, calling Hanover Fist. Hand over fist. And hello, Mr. Christoph. May all of your hot dogs come from upstate New York, my friend. Welcome, welcome. So Santa, that's how Santa could make it around in one night. Yeah, he's all jacked on caffeine. I'm going to give him a Y3000 and make him suffer. Y3000's just disappointing. It's not really disgusting or anything. I wouldn't call it suffering. Still better than a Diet Pepsi, for the love of Pete. And when I went out to grab a soda, I might have grabbed a couple of these fudge-covered graham cookies. Because, you know, it's Christmas. Mrs. M was talking the other day about how, oh, I want marshmallows to go in my hot chocolate. And I was like, forget about it. We don't have that. And I actually picked her up marshmallows today, too. She doesn't know it yet. At some point this weekend, I will make her cocoa and top it off with marshmallows aplenty. I'm not sure if Mr. Mustafa got the reference or not. Not ringing a bell. I did not get the reference. Mr. Hanover? I just rewatched Heavy Metal a few weeks ago. The magazine only recently went out of print. Stern. Heavy Metal movie, yeah. Here, the questing dad makes the best homemade hot cocoa as per his wife. A lot of times that goes a long way towards landing a lady. I know the Cookie Mama and Desert Owl both freely admit that one of the reasons why she married him was because of his fajitas. One of the flying club presidents, they used to do these winter fun flies, and they served their special recipe hot cocoa, which basically consisted of take chocolate milk and heat it up and serve. The coffee machines in all the break rooms at work, we can make Dove hot chocolate. It's pretty yummy. A light in the garden. I don't drink a ton of hot chocolate, but I like it once in a while. Make it thick. Half whole milk and heavy cream is the secret. Ooh, that sounds good. Dylan Hollis also did a recipe for homemade eggnog I saw. He said it was game-changing and ruined him for all other eggnog. Rockhead says he calls them fajitas? Yeah. Melt real chocolate into it also. I completed Goblin Slayer Advanced a while ago, so I don't really need to fight any more dang goblins. Free hot chocolate, we get free water. I have to pay for my Coke Zero, but we have Coke Zero on fountain at the office cafeteria. Although they were jacking with the Coke machine and it doesn't taste right, but we also have it bottled. Well, I have to confess, at work I've been drinking a lot more Diet Mountain Dew because the Coke fountain is not quite right. The food service manager was bragging about how he got Coke to come out and fix it. And ever since they fixed it, it hasn't tasted right. So it's like, yeah, nice job with that. Could be the carbonation on the machine. You are correct, Antler. Maybe you got the preview for the new Coke Zero formula. I hope not. Ten out of 10 for roots. Well, I must have all the crystals I need too. Well, there's about 87 different flavors of Mountain Dew also.
The house of Durin will live forever. These halls will be great once more.
Completed Quests of Durin's Way. Although I've said it before, if you guys have not made it to a Kentucky Fried Chicken, a KFC, to try the Sweet Lightning, it is a peach and honey flavored Mountain Dew. They only have the full sugar variety, but man, is it good. And I kind of figured it was a sign I was finally getting old when I went to KFC and liked it. But the KFC near where we live, they've actually dressed it up quite a bit. They remodeled it. It was nice inside. It was well staffed. The staff was friendly. I got my food fast. The prices were reasonable. I'm like, huh. Kind of always remember like thinking KFC sucked. But yeah, well, there's some things to like there. It ain't Popeyes, but it ain't bad. In fact, I'm on record as being quite enthusiastic about the Popeyes chicken sandwich. Still am, but I have to admit the KFC chicken sandwich is not far behind. That's also a very solid chicken sandwich. Supposed to be finding another NPC to talk to. I thought he was back here somewhere, but must not be the case. I think we actually had a Whataburger here. The same location was a Whataburger, then a Fat Burger, then a Burger Star. None of them made it. Coviette checking in, says hi hi. There's Arnaud.
The orcs of Moria have much to account for.
Helgi Goblin Blaine's arm. Right, what else do we have for quests? Jazzergund. East of here, okay, I think I remember the way. And find and talk to Arfun. Towards there. I've discovered Salab Nurgendal. Completed the Western Duran's Way. It's like Dory from Nemo. Just keep stabbing, just keep stabbing. Huh. How did that respawn so fast? Or was that the group I just walked through? It's a mystery. Making an adult beverage for Middle Earth adventures. Oh, there you go. Nothing wrong with that. Enjoy whatever beverage you like while you're enjoying Lord of the Rings online. The Glass Hall. Just remember, if you think you've had too much to drink, try to avoid writing your war steed. Nothing good will come of that. I want everybody to have a safe and enjoyable weekend and avoid having to visit the Res Circle. Could it be? You're not the Batcave. So there's something I'm curious about. Everybody's welcome to sound off and chat about it. Does your family have a particular food tradition around the holidays for New Year's, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, that other people think is kind of weird, but your family's totally into it? One of my sister's ex-boyfriends said his family always had corn and oysters for Christmas. I like corn. I like oysters. I don't know why you'd ever put the two of them together. That always struck me as weird. And then, of course, my sister had to make it for him. That was just something that struck me. I have talked to people who would traditionally they'd have oyster stew on New Year's or on Christmas Eve. It's kind of a tradition. Lots of New Year's traditions. Man, one that was super fun. Mrs. M and I went over to our friends, and they said they would host, and I said we would bring the lobster. And I brought 4 Canadian lobsters and 4 filet mignon over for surf and turf. And they did the cooking, and the food was delicious. But apparently we made such a mess trying to crack and eat those lobsters, they never want to do that again. Mrs. M and I went home, and we didn't have to help with the cleanup, so that was the thing. I got to admit, I'm completely lost at this point. There's a shortcut that you zip up a couple of hallways, bing bang boom, and you're right there at the endless stair. And I'm like, I don't remember how to get there anymore. I just keep wandering around in circles. And I know it's not down this way because I already came this way looking for it. I remember having to weave my way through all of these stupid goblins and bats earlier. Mexican food on Christmas Eve. That sounds like a good tradition. Particularly if you and your family are Mexican. Oh man, I never did post the picture. I might have described my lunch on Thursday. I think Gipio and I talked about it. That might be the only description I've given so far. But my work buddy, I wanted to take him out and treat him to lunch before the holidays. So we went to this Mexican restaurant here in Omaha called Isla del Mar. They specialize in Mexican seafood. And it can be a tough sell in Omaha, but I was glad to see the restaurant's busy, seems to be doing well. Um, it just seems like seafood in Nebraska is an expensive proposition because everything has to be flown in. So it tends to be pricey, and when people go out for expensive food, they don't normally think Mexican food, which is a shame because Mexican seafood is wonderful. Um, and we went. Oh, I think this is the hallway I've been looking for. Or I'm wrong. I'm wrong. This is not the hallway I was looking for. I'm right back in the garden again. Okay, well, I'm just going to quit wandering this way. What did I have? I started off, I got a birria taco, which is like a pot roast taco, and they often serve them with au jus, spicy drippings from the roast. Um, and that was super good. And that was just a warm up. I ordered a mixed seafood ceviche tostada, and this thing was full of octopus and scallops and shrimp. It was just, and ceviche is basically fresh seafood that's cooked in citrus acid. They squeeze lime juice and tomato and onion and mix the whole thing together so it's like a seafood salsa. And then they brought a couple of crisp tostada shells to spoon it onto and eat it with. It was fantastic. And then, lastly and certainly not least, um, I had a bowl of langostino soup. And normally, when you get langostino, it's basically you're not sure if you're eating shrimp or langostino. They're already peeled. No, this bowl of soup had like 5 or 6 whole langostino in them, and I had to. They were already pre-cracked, but I had to peel the tails out of the shells, and the broth was just amazing. It was like a bouillabaisse almost. And we dropped some money at lunch. My work buddy got 3 marlin tacos and I don't think I have anybody else to talk to over here, but I'm going to double check. He got a large ceviche plate for lunch, and I think we both just drank water. Um, yeah, the food was terrific. I took a long time working my way through the soup because I had to peel the tails out of the langostino, but I got a picture of it. My mother's side of the family is from Texas, so the Mexican food's quite good, and I'm in Southern Cal, so the Mexican food is delicious. Awesome. Believe it or not, Omaha has a fairly big Latin population. Um, a lot of folks migrated here to work in the packing plants and things. Um, and we've always had the job market in Omaha is always really solid. Even when the rest of the country is at like 6 or 8% unemployment, we're at 2 or 3. Um, a lot of the big businesses are agriculture or agriculture adjacent. So people would have to stop eating for the job market to really be bad here in Omaha. And by adjacent, okay, I've already been in here. I've already killed these goblins. Am I going to have to go back to the 21st hall to get to where I need to go? I had to map it anyway. I may as well head there. But the South Omaha, 50 years ago, it was all Eastern European immigrants, Poles and Czechs and folks from Eastern Europe. And then there was a shift about 20 or 30 years ago. It started becoming more Latin. And we actually have a Latino museum down there. Um, and tons and tons and tons of great restaurants. Omaha is surprisingly diverse for being in the middle of nowhere. We've got good Ethiopian restaurants. There's a fairly sizable Somali community here. There's a great Afghani restaurant not too far from my office. Um, Vietnamese, Thai, stuff you wouldn't expect out in the middle of a bunch of cornfields. But my work buddy is of Guatemalan and Mexican heritage, and he's from Southern California. So he'd lived in Phoenix and in Texas, and just moved to Nebraska about 3 years ago. And I've been introducing him to all of the better restaurants, and I think he's very pleasantly surprised at how good the Mexican food is. In fact, he was talking about his mother coming and visiting from Southern California, and they were in South Omaha, and she was like, "Oh, I finally feel at home." So,
Many thousands dwell in the
find the
depths of
Western
mountains.
Gate.
I fear the orcs will be the least of our troubles.
He wants me to find the first hall. Well, let's go map our way to the 21st hall. Gantran says, ooh, expansion pack sales. 'Tis the season, Gantran. Riders of Rohan is 99.9% off right now. We're mapping the Winding Way. And we're being a very sneaky hobbit while we do it. We don't want to disturb the serpents and tunnel rats after all. There's a Salvadorian and Nicaraguan restaurant not too far from where Captain Zoidmerica works. That's surprisingly good. I was not expecting to find pupusas out there. Not near Gretna, Nebraska. Oof. That was a very happy discovery. There's a couple of very authentic Chinese restaurants where they have chefs that are from like Sichuan province, and they have a full Szechuan menu and do crazy stuff you don't see on regular Chinese restaurant menus. Sauteed pig stomach, pig intestine, Szechuan rabbit. Man, a couple of the appetizers we've had there. They have an ox and beef tongue. It's served cold, and there's a garlic and chili oil dipping sauce for it, and it's just like, it's so good. They do hot pot. I mean, you can probably get almond chicken there, but you'd have to be out of your mind to order something like that. Captain Zoid mentioned them getting Culvers. Yeah, he was excited about that. That was always Maiden of Rohan's favorite. Simply MJ loves her Culvers and the cheese curds. My wife and I took our niece there one time to grab a bite to eat, and I took a picture of him hanging out at Culver's and sent. I think I posted it in her Discord. Big Ed, you have a great night, my friend. I'm off to bed so I can hit up the grocery store before all the crazies get there with their last minute shopping. Questing Dad, you'll need your rest. It's going to be a zoo tomorrow. I was talking earlier, Mrs. M wants me to make braised oxtails for Christmas dinner, and I couldn't find them today, so I've got to venture out tomorrow and try to locate oxtails. It's like, that will be a challenge. Thanks. Good luck to you, Questing Dad. Gamers TV says, Epic Games TV says, order everything online. I normally do. I like to order online. I have Walmart Plus, and a lot of times I'll just order up the groceries and go pick them up. I let them even put them in the car. But, sometimes it's best to walk through the store. Just depends on what you're shopping for. Of course, as expensive as oxtails are, I could probably just get them delivered from somewhere. There's a Caribbean restaurant here in town, a Jamaican restaurant called Caribbean Delight. Oh man, they've got the best braised oxtails. They do a Caribbean style curried goat, unbelievably good. Jamaican jerk and Jamaican beef patties, and oh man, I spend more money if I walk through the store. Yeah, sometimes you need to do that though. I'm sure if you head out west, you can find some cows you can rip the tails off of. I think that's called rustling. I don't know if they still hang you for that, but I'd definitely be going to jail. Do not screw with another man's livestock. You're Jamaican me crazy, man. Oh, you're not kidding. I haven't been there for a while either. I think one time Mrs. M wanted it when she was at the nursing home, and I drove there and picked up braised oxtails and drove all the way out to Elkhorn with them. Had to smell that the whole way in the car. I was like, oh, that smells so good. There we go. You have drawn the 21st hall. So I go back to the chamber of the crossroads and turn that in. Would have thought a piece of meat next to an animal's poop chute would smell so good. Well, what do they call a chicken butt? The Pope's nose? And actually, I didn't. One of the things I like to do, I go to our Walmart neighborhood grocery and I take pictures of weird stuff they have occasionally. Halloween eggnog comes to mind. It's like eggnog is not a Halloween thing. I have no idea who thought it would be good to try to market it like that. What's weird is I didn't see Christmas eggnog. I wasn't really looking for it though. And then, I like eggnog, but normally 1 cup a year is enough to remind me why I don't drink it more often. There we are, Jazzergund. I think I have 2 vectoring quests for me to come here, so. They've had pig's ears, they've had chicken feet. I took a picture. They were selling pre-made Jello shots one time. It's like I thought part of the fun of Jello shots was making them in the first place. Omaha Steaks have oxtails? I don't think they do. They mostly sell fillets.
The time has come.
We actually have an Omaha Steaks retail store not too far from us. Mrs. M worked for him over the holidays a couple of seasons, and employees can go in there and get discounts, and they actually have employee only stuff you can buy. They had these really thin ribeyes. They weren't particularly good, but they would have been good for like, well, the ideal thing to do would have been if I still had those, I would make bulgogi out of them, or you could make like, I don't know, if you're gonna do steak tacos or something. They were thin enough that you wouldn't grill them up and eat them as a steak, but they were good for cooking with. Um, and they were like $3 a pound or something crazy. It's like, get this 3 pound box of fillets for $9.
What foul and nameless things we face in Moria, I know not. Many foul things dwell in the depths of the mountains. I hear the orcs will be the least of our troubles.
What foul and nameless things we face in Moria, I know not. What foul and nameless things we face in Moria,
Oh man.
I know not.
We have seen naught of Durin's bane. Be wary if you join us.
I've seen Durin's Bane. I poked it with a stick. It was not moving. What do we want to get rid of? Yeah, I think I can cancel that.
We have seen naught of Durin's bane. Be wary if you journey into Moria.
I'll hit one of the more bigger grocery stores, and then I got to swing by one of the other Asian markets. I need to pick up some more kimchi, and I stopped by a small Asian market that's fairly new, and they didn't have any kimchi yet. It's only been open a few months. Mrs. M's not feeling particularly robust. She likes to just have rice and nori and kimchi for dinner. And I'm like, okay, that's easy enough, so I don't mind making it for her. There's a few specialty shops around where I could probably get oxtails too. Just good meats, and there's a Fairway meat market not too far away. I'll find my oxtails. They will not be inexpensive though. Actually, I was surprised the Walmart neighborhood grocery near us actually had beef short ribs, and they looked pretty good, but they were like almost $8 a pound. There's a Korean soup, galbitang. It's a short rib soup. It's fairly bland, but it's quite. I don't know. There's something about it that it's not overly. It's just beef broth and short rib meat and a few vegetables, but it's just you're kind of like no, there's something refreshing about it, even though it's not wildly flavorful. It's hard to describe. But I mentioned to Mrs. M I found those, and she's like, nah, I don't want beef short rib. It's like, okay. I burgled. I got a gleaming ring.